This new operator is called the modulus operator. And modulus in C++ and Java is using percent sign. Okay? Now, this is not going to be an operator that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and say, thank God I learned about modulus. I mean, it's not life-changing. It's not like every day you say, oh, thank God for that modulus. But there are situations where modulus is really helpful. Let's first talk about what it does. Okay? So if I have 7 modulus 3, what that means is I take 3 into 7, and it goes twice, but who cares? What the modulus gives me is the remainder. So 7 modulus 3 is actually equal to 1. Okay? Let's try another one. So let's say I've got 16 modulus, oh, I keep picking the one with the same number. 23 modulus 10. What's 23 modulus 10? 3. Because 10 goes in twice, and there's 3 left over. Okay? Okay? So it's always the remainder. Let me show you the example. 10 goes into 23 twice. The remainder is 3. Who cares? What would modulus be useful for? Okay, I could have used it for the conversions. With sort of actually, we could have used it for the binary conversions when we went from decimal to binary divided by 2. Okay. Any other ideas? Yeah, deciding if a number is even or odd is usually the #1 usage for modulus. So if you have a number x, and I asked you to tell me whether that number was even or odd without this operator, what would you do? You divide it by 2, and you would get what? Either a whole number, or you'd get a float if you converted to float. So there's no really easy way. What about if we use the following thing? What about if we said, if num1 modulus 2, I'm introducing a new operator here. We're going to talk about this in a second. Double equals 0. Not assigns. This is a new operator. Whoops. New operator, double equals, and it's test for equality. It's not the same thing as assignment. Okay? So bottom line is, how does this work? What does that if statement do? Anybody going to help him? So you take modulus in 2, and if there's a remainder, then it's not, it's blah, 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 odd. If there's no remainder, then it's even. So this is a very useful thing for even or odd. Okay? So if the number, and we take to use the modulus, and if the answer is 0, that means it's an even number. There was no remainder. Okay? Other examples. Can anybody think of another example where you might want to use a modulus? Integer division and for whatever the floating point answer would be type thing is what you're saying. How about if you ever done a project where you wanted something to happen every 3rd page, or let's say for your paycheck, every 5th paycheck they print out your vacation days. Okay, so something happens at some increment, okay? You can use the modulus in that case as well. So let's say page number modulus 5, maybe you put a header or something like that. Okay? If page number modulus 5 equals 0, then you put the header. So that's the modulus operator. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, everybody learned in 3rd grade. I call it precedence. Some people call it order of operations. And what's the song that you sang? Who remembers the song? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What the heck does that mean? What does please, go ahead. Parentheses. Yeah, so this told us the order of operations. Okay? What the heck still? Tell me more. Why do I need to know the order of operations? So I have a big, long, honking expression. Okay, what happens first in that expression? A minus C, the parentheses, because that's please. Okay? I don't have any exponentiation. What happens next? Okay, multiplication or division. They're the same. They're the same order. So we basically, it's whatever's left to right. We go left to right. So this one would be first. What would be next? D divided by J. What would be next? This guy right here. And then what about the addition? How would that take place? Left to right. You know, it's funny. Everybody always acts like they know this, but when I give a bunch of problems, a lot of people get the problems wrong. I always have these on test. We have homework. So I think the biggest problem that people make is they don't go left to right. That's the biggest problem. Okay? But let's look at the classic example of where we need orders of operation. Okay, what's wrong with this expression? Because of the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, division will take place first, and it will divide only test 2 by 2, and then add that to your test 1. Incorrect. Wrong. Right? So what do I want to have happen here? Now this is correct. Now we'll do the addition first, and then divide that by 2. Does everybody understand that? Okay? So all languages have operations and orders of evaluation, and they usually follow that same similar rule. Okay? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.